I'm here with number 8 ranked featherweight Josh Emmett, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. First thing is how are you and the wife doing during this pandemic?
We're doing good. It's we're kind of sticking to the same schedule. Just with just our routine, like eating schedule, workout schedule, besides there being no practices, I'm still doing my workouts, everything I possibly can. Runs, lifting in the garage, hitting the bag, doing one-on-ones, trying to go to a bed at a decent time and not stay up all night watching movies and different series. And then I get up pretty early anyway, so trying to stick to the same regimen, but it is a little difficult sometimes.
All right. So I saw in your interview just recently with MMA Junkie that the Edson Barbosa fight was basically just, I guess, internet rumors.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it was. It was like his name was in the like they were talking about his name, possibly fighting him, and I was like, yeah, of course, like I'll fight anyone. But then they were just trying to renegotiate my contract. But it being out there, like it was saying I was fighting May 2nd, I was like, I felt bad because I was like, I'm not fighting, like I won't be there. Like,
Right.
they haven't even asked me or anything, but supposedly we were fighting that date, so I was like, whatever.
And so do you have any names above you that you would like to fight?
Yeah, I want to, like I've always said, I want to fight people in front of me that are getting me closer to the title, and why not fight? I think Volkanovski and Holloway are going to run it back, so the guy next in line would be Ortega. So I would love to fight Ortega, and then I win that fight, I get the winner of Holloway Volkanovski.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, sounds very plausible.
Yeah, but who knows if it'll happen? Probably not.
Right.
Sounds good though.
Right, right. Um, so this is your last fight on your contract. After your contract expires, do you want to stay with the UFC?
Yeah, of course. That's like I've said, it's the biggest platform not out there, the biggest, best organization. But I'm also, I'm fighting for, like I do fight for money too. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say they just want to be the baddest man on the planet. They don't care about the money, but I care all about the money. So I feel like I can fight, and if I can, set myself up, my family for our future, and be smart with the money, like that's 100% why I do fight. And so yeah, hopefully they can throw out a new contract, and it be worth my while, and have a good payday. But I was originally, I was going to fight out my contract earlier on when I was going to fight Arnold Allen before I got injured, just because there was, just who knows, like I would be willing just to test free agency, and see kind of what's out there. But at the end of the day, I do want to stay with the UFC.
Gotcha. Couple other things before we get into your favorite subjects. So you graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology. Why did you go that way?
Well, the whole thing with that was I got offers to go to the East Coast, Midwest to wrestle and stuff like that. But at the time, I I wanted to stay local, and I could have went to somewhere in Southern California, San Francisco State. But then I got a call from Menlo College, and that was about 2 hours from me. It was in the Silicon Valley. It's in Atherton, California. So I decided to go down there, and their only majors were either psychology, business, or I think like mass comm or something like that. And so I started out doing, business major and things like that. And I'm a part of a few businesses, and business has always been interesting to me, and things like that. But then it's like, when we get into the math and everything, man, I'm not too good with the math. But even for my psychology degree, I still had to take calculus. I was like, what the hell is this about? Just for a prereq. But yeah, I went that route just because the only two things I've ever wanted to do is be a professional athlete or be a police officer. And I thought a psychology degree would go hand in hand with doing something in law enforcement. But here I am, with all those student loans, and I'm definitely not using my degree. It's like I went and got a degree in wrestling so I could go fight. That's my thing.
Right. course, of course. And so in 2017, you really became a knockout artist. What changed in your training?
I think it was kind of all the same. Like if you watch some of my earlier, or I don't know, it's different. Like I love boxing. I can just I think it's just being comfortable, just being comfortable standing there. Because before, when I was like when I was amateur, when I was starting out on like the regional scene and stuff, early as a professional, like I can go spar with anyone and do great. People think I'm a boxer, but then when I was getting in the fights, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stand in there and knock this guy out. But then they hit me and I shoot him for a takedown, take him down, and I was like getting TKOs and submissions and stuff earlier on because I was grappling, because that's my base is wrestling. But then I think as I got towards like my like fifth, sixth, seventh fight, I started just becoming really comfortable, just standing on my feet. And then, I think I was fighting at lightweight, and I was hitting these guys hard, but they just wouldn't go down. Dropped a few of them, but then I felt like when I made the cut to featherweight, it was like I would just hit them, and they would just be out. So that was a benefit and a plus right there. So, and I still think I'm just you know I still haven't even got to scratch the surface or show people like out there like what I'm really capable of. But it's like my coaches and teammates and everyone knows what I can do, but I still haven't got to put it all together yet. But it'll come.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm going to list off of just a bunch of favorite things, and I guess just respond to what it is.
Okay.
What's your favorite food?
Man, everything. I love food. So it's like I don't know if I could pick one. Like I literally, that's like not, I wouldn't say a passion of mine, but it kind of is. Like I love to eat like good food. So man, I honestly don't know like what my favorite food is, because um I don't know. It's hard. I'd say somewhere between like Mexican, Asian, Italian. I don't know, man. That's a tough one for me.
Gotcha.
That's super
Um,
tough.
what about your favorite drink?
Um, like as far as like just anything.
Yeah, just anything.
Yeah, well, like obviously training and stuff like that. I'm like I really just drink water and stuff. But after like fights and stuff, my wife and I, we love wine, so we're like we go to Napa a lot. We've gone to Italy, and everywhere we go kind of like wine tasting. My in-laws actually own a winery and stuff like that. So I love Chiantis, like Italian wines. I love like red wines, but or good craft cocktails like old fashions and stuff like that. Some neat whiskey bars are always I'm a fan of.
Okay. What's your favorite color?
Most of my stuff is like I always wear a lot of like blue, gray, and white. So I guess if you look at my closet, it's all blue, gray, and white. My shoes are gray, and so probably like light gray, blue, and white.
What's your favorite all-time fight to watch?
um, just in general, like
Yeah,
any fighter or myself, or
just in general.
uh, that's a good one. I don't know, honestly, like my all-time fight. It's like I've always been a huge fan of MMA and the UFC, so I still watch like every card unless I'm like super busy. Um, but I think that just thinking off the top of my head, I like that it was Dan Henderson and Shogun, right? When they were just going crazy. That was just a crazy back and forth fight between two legends. So I guess I could say like, kind of those type of fights. Yeah, maybe I'll go with that one.
What's your favorite knockout of all time?
My favorite knockout of time. I don't know, I'd even say like just going off of mine, just one of mine would be just the Lamas fight, because that's kind of
Mhm.
what put me on the scene. I took it on short notice. It's I kind of like leapfrogged the entire division after one featherweight fight, so that's kind of my favorite knockout of all time.
Okay. What's your favorite submission to practice?
Um, I don't know, I like guillotines, coming from Team Alpha Male and stuff like that. Like we have a lot of different just series for everything, like choke series. We do a lot of just a ton of like neat things that just transition from one submission to the next. But yeah, I'd say probably, guillotines and things like that, rear naked chokes. Chokes are my favorite.
What's your favorite sport to watch other than mixed martial arts?
I'm kind of a fan of everything. I grew up playing everything. When I was younger, I used to be a huge fan of just, baseball, football, basketball, everything. Um, and then as I started working and doing all that stuff, going like, I never got to watch watch sports during the week, so I kind of fell off of it as I got a little older. But now getting back into it, I would just like going to any type of like sporting event, and especially watching it live. And then if you can bet on it too, it makes it a little more exciting. So yeah, I go watch, like I'll go to a lot of football games, basketball games, and I haven't been to I've been to a lot of baseball games, but just over the past few years, I haven't gone to a lot, just a few.
Um, who's your favorite athlete other than yourself?
My favorite athlete. When I was a kid, like a huge fan, like Mark McGuire used to be one of my favorite baseball players of all time. When he was playing for the A's, when he was playing for St. Louis, I always like, basketball. I was, of course, like Jordan, but I was always a huge Kobe fan and Vince
Mm,
Carter fan. Um, yeah, and football. Yeah, I was a huge Raiders fan as a young kid. I was all decked out in Raiders gear, and then I got a little older, and but now here I am. Like all my friends are split between Raiders and Niners fans, so I'm kind of neutral. But I would say I'm definitely a Raiders fan, and I've gone to more Raiders games and just recently too.
what's your favorite movie of all time?
I don't know. I always like, of course, like the fighting movies and like Bloodsport and Kickboxer. I always like Gone in 60 Seconds back in the day. Um,
Mm,
yeah, it was kind of up there, but I see so many movies too. It's like my wife and I, we go to the movie theater so much to where we haven't recently, but it's like we've gone and seen everything. It's like our friends or family couldn't even do anything because we'd go as soon as they come out. We see literally everything.
what's your favorite song?
Ah, man. See, I'm a fan of music. I just as far as I'm just not the biggest country fan. You know what I mean? Like if you look at my playlist, I have a lot of I listen to a lot of reggae, um, like '90s stuff. Like '90s hip hop, some early 2000 stuff, but just yeah, really a little bit of everything. But my favorite song, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite song, favorite reggae bands. I like Revolution a lot, and there's
Okay.
several songs, but I don't know. I don't have a favorite song. Just fan of music.
Okay. Okay. Um, what's your favorite place to travel to?
Um, and that is a passion of mine, and my wife's traveling. We've been so many places all over the world, and it's tough to pick a favorite place just because everything's so different, and there's so much more we want to see before we actually go back to a place that we've been. Like even this year, I want to say we've been from July till now. I think we've been to like 9 different countries, and um, like and that's just this year. After I fought in Sacramento in July, we went to Europe for 3.5 weeks and went to like 7 or 8 different countries. And then just recently we went out to Vietnam. And then I don't know, but yeah, we travel a lot. Like every time after I fight, we go on some big crazy trip. And there's a lot of things even in the United States, just going to newer cities and stuff that we haven't seen. But um, I don't know. I'd definitely say like Thailand, Italy, like I don't know, everything is so different. It's really tough, but I love to travel. I love to go out of the country.
Okay. What is your what's your favorite of your tattoos?
Um, Probably this one right here. This it's a
Your bomb.
bomb on my right hand. Everyone's always saying I'm throwing bombs, and that's probably one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I'd probably have to go with that one. But actually, all of them, are all mean something different. I even have one. Oh shit! Sorry, right
It's
here
all
on
good.
my wrist, and it's my godson. So it's his initials, JP3. So Johnny
Okay.
Perez the third. Yeah, I don't know. I just have, they all mean something special to me, and yeah, but those are some of the favorite ones.
What is your favorite animal?
Probably have to go with dogs. I have a French bulldog, Apollo, and that's like our son right there. My wife and I are the only ones out of all of our friends that don't have kids yet. And so we definitely spoil him and treat him like a baby. And it's kind of funny because everyone's sending like pictures of their kids on our group messages, and then we'll just chime in with what the dog's doing or relate their kids to the dog. It's kind of funny.
That's right. What's your favorite holiday?
um, I'd have to say, like, Christmas and Thanksgiving, because I love to eat, and there's always a lot of food around those holidays. But it's been unfortunate because I've wrestled most of my life since I was
Mhm.
10, 11 years old. So it's like there's always tournaments, and I'm always on a diet or something around Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I can't really eat what everyone else is eating. Or now I'm into, fighting. So it's like I always seem to have some fight, around those times too. So it would be perfect to fight right before Thanksgiving so I could enjoy both those holidays.
And the last one is your favorite hobbies, but I'm gonna guess it's traveling.
Yeah, no, yeah, traveling. We love to travel. We love to, like I said, uh, just like eat good food, drink good wine. We love to hang out with our friends, and just we're super active. We do so many things, and um, I don't know. Yeah, it's just yeah. That's why I like to train super hard, fight, and then then I'll kind of treat myself. Like I won't, people go back into the gym right after a fight, but I feel like your body can't, like, you can't take that type of stress mentally and physically, year round. So it's like I'll take, people won't even see me in the gym for a good month or so after a fight. I just kind of fall off the face of the earth and do my own stuff, and then I'll get back in there and get things going, and then shortly after get a fight book started over.
And the last thing before I let you go, so take me back to your fight against Michael Johnson, and what was your mindset going into that third round when you were down? Were like what was your mindset?
Yeah, I had to go in there and finish the fight. I had to, win the round. Because in my mind, like I still think I thought I won the first round. I thought, I gave him the second round, and then I thought I was winning the third until I knocked him out. And I saw there was one judge that kind of the same thing with me. They scored the first round in my favor, but the other judges didn't. Yeah, but I was trying to go finish the fight. I felt like he was doing really well, just getting in and out like he does, and then I could tell towards like the second round he was kind of, just he wasn't doing that, and then in the third round he was just kind of like fighting my game and coming into me, and yeah, I just landed a shot, but I feel like I can land, like if I land one clean shot on anyone, I don't care what way, I feel like I'll put them out. And yeah, just I'm glad it happened, but it happened a lot later than I expected. Um, but yeah, no, that was awesome though, just because coming off such a long layoff, and they threw out a few names, and he was the biggest name and the toughest opponent, and so I'm like, yeah, I want that fight, just so I could get back to where I was at, because I felt like there was a lot of like talk, and I was getting so close to where I want to be, and then I had an injury and a little like hiccup in the road, and so I wanted to come back and make a statement, and I feel like I got to do that, and then shortly after I got to fight at home again in Sacramento against another tough opponent, and put him away in the first round as well. So but now I just, I want those big fights, but I feel like I'm going to be sidelined another year. It seems like before I get a fight. So I'm coming up on in May will be my 4th year in the UFC, and I'm going to be sidelined for more than 2 years of that. So it's kind of
Wow.
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, because
yeah,
I was
that's
out for 13 months after the Stevens fight, and then I haven't fought since July. So I feel like by the time all this, the coronavirus and stuff, whatever goes on with that, gets cleared up, who knows when I'll fight? June or July? That's another year. It's a little over 2 years, and I've only been in the UFC for almost 4.
Are you interested in fighting on Fight Island?
Yeah, yeah. No, I was when they came to Tachi, like I wanted to get on something there, and take advantage of it because it's only 3.5 hours from my house. But yeah, with the Fight Island, I'm down. But I have to have some type of just notice. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing my part to get in shape and get my weight down, but it's hard. Like when people are like, "Hey, stay ready." Like I can't just stay at this level, with the weight cut and all that, and then you're getting there, and then they cancel it, and then I would want something. If they called me now and locked something in the next 6-7 weeks, like I'll be ready with like a limited training. But I can't just take a fight on a 2-week notice. You know what I mean? It's but I'd go up and fight at 55s. I'll do that too. So I could do that, but I can't fight at 45s on a 2-3 week notice.
Yeah, that's a big weight cut for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I'm coming down. I've lost quite a bit of weight on this quarantine, so just because I'm I'm dieting and doing everything I can, but I feel like I'm one of the few. A lot of other people are they haven't been losing too much weight on the quarantine.
I am one of those.
That's all right. I'd be there too if I fought in January when I was supposed to. If I didn't get injured, hey, I'd be right there with you. I wouldn't be trying to fight on Fight Island or whatever. But since I haven't fought for so long, I want to get a fight in before another year passes.
Cool. Well, thank you for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, anytime.